Hey, just wanted to make this video. This is like my second time recording it. I was getting pretty annoyed by people posting like that this is fake or that it's not square or whatever, and that this image that was posted on Twitter, which isn't new, by the way, it's like 20 years old. It was found from the 97 to 2006 time frame from the MOC mission. Um, but yeah, so if you want to find it, it took me a little while to figure out how to find it. So just go to Google, type Mars Space Explorer, and that's not it. Oh my gosh. So you want to type THEMIS, THEMIS Image Explorer from .asu.edu. So it's Arizona State University. Click the link. You'll come here, and then you'll say, all right, I want to find this image, which, by the way, is just super annoying now, that they don't just give you like a big interactive map with all of their swaths like stitched together so you can look at maybe what's interesting or whatever. You kind of have to know this already, or just spend time crawling through like the IDs. Those are just, that's just annoying. But anyways, someone probably pulled this out to the side and mentioned it, and they heard about it and they found it and they posted it a long time ago. And um, I think most people just see it and they're so busy in their lives, they probably think like, what the hell? Is this real? And then they go to Reddit, which I was just at, right? I was just at on Reddit. I can't find. There's a Reddit post, someone saying they pulled up another image of it, and it was not this image. And they said, look, it's clearly not square. I don't know why. Just I don't even read comments from Reddit anymore. I haven't used Reddit in a few years. I really really hate it. It's so easy to create a bot to push any idea you want in any subreddit anywhere all the time, especially with AI. So I just don't even take any credence to Reddit anymore. Um, so anyways, if you want to find it, right, just go to the viewer.mars.asu.edu. This is for the ASU School of Earth and Space Exploratory. I don't know how long this will be online. They'll probably find some way to say, we're taking our images off of here. But just to get to the point here, if you try typing in the product ID from the picture, right, E10462, E1000462, it's gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about, right? Basically, you go to the next one, do the same thing. It's gonna say, I don't know what you're talking about. But if you go to the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh one for Mars Orbiter camera, that one will actually pull the image up. I don't know why. But here's the image. Gives you some good details like the lat long, 28 lat, 27.7 long. Local time is 13. A bunch of metadata here. You can scroll down and you see the image is scaled to 61 kilometers height, 3 kilometers wide. It kind of gives you some details about like the north azimuth. Maybe this is like the position of the satellite as it's taking the picture relative to like the center. I don't really know exactly how this was taken. But if we just take their word for it and say that this is 61 kilometers long and 3 kilometers wide, and you can scroll in here, it's pretty nice. You can also do a zoom. But if you click, one of these other things has some details that you can look at, but it basically just says like the date of when the mission was done. So this button here is for full screen. You can go to the top here and you can see it. So you could do, all the math you want, but basically if this is 3 kilometers, if you can see my mouse from side to side, 3 kilometers, and this is up and down 61 kilometers, that makes each side of this about almost equal to a mile, like a US metric mile. It's about 1.5 kilometers on each side. which is crazy. I looked at I was just curious. I was like, is there any special rounding of the numbers of the size of this square? And the closest thing I found is that it's closest to being about a mile. Maybe if you gave it some extra, I think it came out to like 0.943 something miles on each side. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's clearly like pretty. It's a square, unless a big cube comet. I don't know. Cube comet came and hit it at some point and left this like indent there. Then maybe that makes sense. I mean, like I don't know. Some people have pointed out like there's no squares in nature, but that there are like those little rocks that form like those squares on them. They're really shiny ones. I don't know what they're called. But if you've seen them, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe it was like something that, but on a huge monstrous scale. I really don't think this is a natural formation. This looks like something was there at some point, um, built there at some point. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty cool image. I spent a little bit of time looking through here and don't see anything else um, really noteworthy on here. But it's a pretty cool image. Um, if you go to the I forget, but the people that did this mission, looking at all the data that they collected from ASU, they have like a website where they wrote like articles about. Let me see here. Maybe I can hold on a second. Maybe I can find it. Mars. All right, so I found it here. This is from themis.asu.edu. This is a pretty cool website. It's maintained by Arizona State University.edu. But yeah, this is a pretty cool article. Like I don't think people really have heard about this. Mars is really really interesting. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to point this out because this is all there, and they have a bunch of research that they did and like stories that they point out. I was trying to find a nice listing of it without losing it. Maybe if someone else could crawl this website and they would see what I'm talking about. But yeah, here it is. So they just pick out a bunch of stuff and they go into really interesting topics on it. But I wanted to talk about this story in particular. It's number 2, so I mean, it sounds like the second article they posted. They thought it was pretty cool too, I would think. But there's these dark spots, which they call spiders, on Mars, and every spring they just show up in random spots, and they call them spiders. But anyways, so every spring, when the sun is peeking over the horizon about a half degree and the sun starts shining, this dark material, and that's their words, they write, the findings suggest that the spots were just a thin layer of dark material lying on top of the ice and kept chilled by it. But they don't stay in the same place, they move around. And so they sit there as the sun makes contact with these large, big slabs of ice that they're sitting on, and as the heat melts the ice, this pressurized gas forms underneath the ice and starts to raise a bit, and then over time, a vent can form, um, and this whatever the material that was underneath or is created as a result of this ice breaking down, it creates a pressure gas that comes out of the top, and they just sit there while that happens. Like I don't know, maybe it's something that's just enjoying the gas. I don't know, but then they go away. But they do this once a year. And when they say once a year, it's actually kind of tricky because as the story, as the exploration mission was from 97, 97 to 2006, a Martian, they said that spanned 4.8 Martian years. So that's kind of crazy. So I don't know how often they do that, but yeah, just I don't know. So I was looking over this website, I saw this article, and I was like, I thought nothing of it until I saw um, the comment about the thin layer of dark material lying on top of the ice. And that's all they say. And it's super funny because this is the picture they give, but they clearly are able to get much closer images. They clearly are. From my limited understanding of telescoping, I mean, if I don't know how far Mars is, but if the image that we are given stops at this distance, come on. But anyways, then they have like this one. It has maybe shadows, or maybe this is gas escaping out of the vents. They describe them as being, so the dark spots typically being 50 to 150 feet wide and spaced several hundred feet apart, appear every southern spring as the sun rises over the ice cap, last for 3 or 4 months and then vanish. Most spots seem to recur at the same locations. Yeah, so they're chilling there at minus 198 degrees Fahrenheit. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Uh, Christensen, one of the researchers, says it's unlike anything that occurs on Earth. It's very insane. Very insane. Then he said, once a spider becomes established, it affects the surface so that events will form in the same place the following year. So it's like they appear and they create an event, enjoy it, find another place the next year to do the same thing. It's so insane. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I mean, this, and I don't feel like I'm speculating that much. And also, you could argue that these spiders are just, oh, they're talking about the fissures in the ground or the crevices that break apart due to the ice breaking and melting, and these vents that are venting gas. The spiders, the shape of the cracks. But how can you say that when the findings suggest the spots were a thin layer of dark material lying on top of the ice? I feel like that completely just that should quiet anyone saying, well, it's just fissures in the ice. I don't think you can debate that. This sounds like they saw something. These spiders, it's like a being on Mars. This is all public internet. I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Anyways, um, but yeah, that's how you find it. Um, but yeah,